you for joining us again today. We had thought we had wrapped up our video series on the prayer for judgment continued, but our office got a call yesterday afternoon that led me to think that I need to revisit a certain topic, and that would be old wives' tales or misconceptions that surround the prayer for judgment continued. And the misconception or old wives' tale that I want to zoom in on today is the idea that so many people have that once you get a prayer for judgment continued, that you cannot get another ticket in the next 3-year period, or else that PJC will come back to get you or open up and come back to haunt you or something of the nature. And I will be straightforward and explain that back in the olden days, when a prayer for judgment was rendered, that the court would keep a track of that prayer for judgment, and if something did come down later in the next few years, the court may reassess whether they should reopen the case and bring that original charge back to bear against the defendant. But that is no longer really the case, and the reason for that is just because there are so many citations in North Carolina issued every year, over 1 million citations, and of that number of citations, a large amount of those turn out to be prayer for judgment continued. And so if the court had this burden on them that they had to go back and reassess every single case where a prayer for judgment continued was entered, every single time somebody got a new citation, that would just be an unbearable burden for the court. So the court now basically looks at a prayer for judgment continued as a final resolution in a case. Once that PJC is entered, it is a final resolution. There is not going to be any chance of that coming back unless for some reason the defendant got a charge that was much more serious, say something like a vehicular homicide or otherwise. And only in that instance would the court maybe go back and reassess that prior conviction for a prayer for judgment continued and maybe reopen that case. But it is in such a small group or set of circumstances that something like that could happen that we don't even really consider it as an option in today's date. In all of the tickets that we've ever handled here in North Carolina, this has never happened even once in our experience. So this idea that the prayer for judgment continued is something that should be avoided because of the fact that it could be reopened, that the PJC could become null and that the original charge could come back to get you, that is a misconception that is very overblown. It is not something that our clients need to consider. Now, as we discussed in prior videos, obviously there are limitations to the PJC that one needs to be aware of and that our attorneys need to think about when we are deciding whether to use a PJC. But this old wives' tale that a new charge will come back and bring the PJC into a non-effective state or bring the original charge back to get you, this is not correct. It's not something we have to worry about, and it's something that we would like to take off the minds of our clients to ease their minds and let them know that the PJC is a final resolution and it's a good outcome when our attorneys determine that it is the appropriate way to proceed.